Naturecorn, a Bebo. Don't blink, it's your boy Ink. Welcome to our third show. Because you are having a wonderful day on this glorious, and I do mean glorious, quantity, on this glorious 16th September 2025. Sorry, we had to do a video that's important because, again, the tower is kind of priorities, right? And we're doing good, so this is also important. Back to back, which is a lovely Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Did I forget where I was? Absolutely. Am I gonna be okay? Yes. So Jake and Old are working on. This is so cool. This is so cool. The whole thing is so pointless because you know the case is solved, right? But at the same time, you're like, dude, guess what? This is Jake doing something nice for Old, and it's kind of meaningful, especially since they have the Merc. Terry finished his first task, and the first task was repairing the bell that he broke. So then he feels bad because he feels like he's doing anything, and then he's pissed off. He sees Scully and Hitchcock fighting about a sub sandwich. He's like, yo, this is not the place for that. Get back to work. And at the same time, it's so nice because Olt kind of gave up on Hitchcock and Scully, but Terry still has some hope for them. We have they discover something. They discover a paper. So Jake and Old discover in the footage there was a paper, and I gotta say the footage is really nice. I thought this footage was so weird. It ends up being a fan. So the fan, because it's turning, there's moments you don't see, so it does feel really weird. They discovered that there's a note. The note is the recipe for Bake City, which is super cool because Amy will be doing. No, this is cool. Jake and Old leave, and they are wearing the mask and hazmat suits. Now, this, I don't know if it was done during the pandemic or before the pandemic, but if it was, this is extremely nice. Yeah, Amy wants to talk to Jake, saying like, "Yo, this went far enough." But Jake's like, "No. You see him, he's entertained, and then he's entertained. He's not bored. He hasn't talked about Kevin in a while." And you know what's insane? This is technically not Jake's idea. You guys remember when he broke up with Sophia? They did the same thing with the training camp, so this is kind of cool. They see Olt, and they're talking about how he's refining it because it's crazy. We write cases with K, which is super nice. Rosa feels bad for Charles. What she does is she buys him a puppy, but it won't replace Jason. So again, super nice. Scully and Hitchcock are doing a hunger strike, but at the same time they're eating chips, which I thought was funny. I thought it was hilarious, to be honest. So yeah, so Terry shows his strength. He closes the door, breaks everything. It's not the most interesting scene. It's not the most funny thing, right? But at the same time, it's still something that is deserving of its place in the pantheon of Terry fuck-ups. Olt goes in and he solves the solution. Olt goes in and he is really pissed off. Really pissed off. Why? Because Jake tells him, like, listen, this case isn't as important as you think. This case was solved hours ago, or years ago. And then Olt's like, oh, you pity me. And Jake's like, yeah, but you need my help. And then Olt is pissed at Jake. So then they fight. And this is super funny because they poke each other and the lump is super hurtful. However, what ends up happening is Amy does the recipe of the restaurant. She follows the recipe and she does Bake City. Now, what they do is they taste the recipe, and this recipe is horrible. So then they said, okay, well, the measurements are not possible. So what they discover is it's a phone number, right? And this is super cool because they solved the case. So they found out more than they originally found out. We got Rosa showing a funeral for Jason, who is humping in the video, which is kind of sad but hey. And this is super cool. And Rosa says, I now know that you understand because I now have this puppy and I love him to death. But he goes to her, I would kill all of you. So you understand how Charles feels, which is cool because Charles is a human being with emotion. that are valid, even if he is. But again, a picture of him all hungry. You know what? Dog would be the best animal on the planet if they were so much more humble. Old is not mad at Jake anymore. He's like, yo, I was lonely. You were right. I'm pissed at you because you liked me, but you had the best intentions. So, and I know that you have the best intentions. So, you're forgiven, and it's super, super nice. So Jake and Amy are going on a cruise, and this is super cool because it's a Judge Judy episode, of course, and Charles like, no, please don't go. I'm gonna miss you. I'm gonna miss you. And this is cool because Charles is a good friend, and it's endearing. It's endearing that he's gonna miss Naomi. Am I wrong? Am I right? I don't know if I'm wrong or right anymore. I just hope for the best, and if the best happen, the best happen. There you go. Love the Guardian. Love the Guardian. Amy has a different plan than Jake. Jake wants to play it cool. Amy wants to play it super busy. Now, this is cool because this is back to the Imagine story, where Amy has a plan and Jake is not willing to follow them, even though the plans are possibly something good, possibly a good thing. So they go on the cruise ship, right? And super nice. We got all the backstory a little bit, which is his sister, and it's nice because she's a window into his old life. How much of a good brother he was, how nice he was, but he doesn't want to see his sister because she's drama. So then Gina gives him the advice to be a little more drama, but it doesn't work because she came in for a good reason, and Alt feel bad about it. They used to play together. They used to make forts. It's a really cool moment for Alt. So you see the sister comes in, and he's begging for help at this point. He's begging for help from Gina and Terry to get the sister away from him because she's a lot. Charles and Rosa get a new apartment that's super super spacious. They're kind of fighting for the apartment. It's like, oh my god, this is the best apartment in Manhattan, and we want it. So this is cool because we're talking about something that's very very real, which is the rent control. So the rent control is when you cannot jack up the price. So the price that you have it is actually a really good place. And it's funny because Charles wants it first, but Gina sees the closet and she's like, okay, no, I want it. And Charles like, no, you didn't want it first. We got Jake and Amy meeting with Judge Judy, who is a singer on the cruise. So Amy wanted tickets, and she wanted tickets online. And then Judge was like, yo, you don't find it weird that you got ticket to something? They want a contest that you didn't even apply for. So he sent them here. The reason why he sent for them is because somebody is looking to kill him. Now this is a funny thing because this is the third Project Bonded episode. Like I'm saying, I'm not mad about it. I am not mad about it. But it's super cool here because Judge Judy actually helps Peralta a lot. Peralta has he wants to chill. Amy is wanting to do a lot, and for a lot of reason, Judge is like, yo, no. Listen to Amy. She's a good woman, and this is super cool because at the very end, you sing a song called Rosa, 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 which is really funny. And then it's pretty much it. Jake goes to the captain and say, hey, listen, you have a criminal on your crew. It's like, yeah, most people are criminal on that crew. There's not a lot of people that wants to go away from their family. So he protects Judge Judy. And for some reason, I feel like Judge didn't know that. Yeah, Judge is the head of it. Jake, don't even try to do it. Don't even try to do it. So we have this, we have that. We have Judge who has the best sweets in the ship, which he gives to Amy and Jake, which is actually super freaking nice. We have the sister of Old who's pestering him with drama, which is super funny. Jake thinks that Judge is using him, and he's using him. I think the whole story of somebody wants him to kill him is a whole freaking. It's something that's not true. You think it's a whole plan. However, this is a good plot because it could be. Or it's a bad plot because they do the same thing with Pimento. which is not even introduced yet, but it's gonna be introduced soon. Demento, they do the same thing to him. It's kind of the same thing twice. Gina and Boils are like, and this is, I gotta say, Boils, he has an episode coming up, which is fucking flawless. So he goes in, and he's like, yo, how dare you, Rosa? But they're now trying to butter up they're trying to butter up the owner, landlord, I guess, and into getting the the apartment, which is cool. In the background is you see Hitchcock working, which is reminiscent of The Office, of course. So we got more of Judge being give good advice to Jake. He gives really, really good advice to Jake. We know the name of the guy is Henry Cole. Henry Cole being the location of Pontiac Bandit's last chop shop, which again we remember that it was a car thief. A chop shop is where they get pieces from the car, and because they get pieces from the car, they're able to sell it. Judge get attacked, which means that somebody is surely after him, which means that he wasn't full of shit as we thought before. And it's super cool because he acts like a couple counselor. We have Jake and Amy putting on costume, which is the third time they put on costume, and this is the third episode of Judge Judy, so we love it. Oat is hiding and drinking seltzer. Now, seltzer are alcohol with not a lot of alcohol, so they're more like a cooler. They're more like drinking. They have a low percentage of alcohol, so you won't get drunk with a seltzer. But I thought it was cool that the captain drinks seltzer for some reason. So Oat goes in and he says that he has a lot of trauma, which leads his sister to tell him what's really happening, that her boyfriend left her and she cheated, which makes him feel bad. Because he feels bad, he builds her a fort back in the days, and he reassures her. Judge sings a song, and he finds the killer. And in the song, he tells Jake where there's a killer, but it's too late because the killer gets to Judy before he gets killed. They go in a room to get a killer, but Judge locks them in there with a killer. Don't worry, the killer is abducted. Judge leaves, and it's so fucking funny because he's like, "Yo, thanks again, Jake, for everything." It's like, I will never leave you alone. And Judge leaves Jake the present, which is this presidential suit. So I thought it was really nice. It was a really nice episode. We find out that the landlord is the culprit because he killed her because he wanted to jack up the rent. And this is why he didn't want a cop in the building. Didn't matter if it was Rosa or Charles. No cops allowed. And that is, my friends, the episode. Jake tells Amy, I love you. Now, Jake telling Amy, I love you is a big part of this episode because he wasn't able to tell her before. Which I feel like it's not true. I feel like it's not true. I feel like he said, I love you first. But I don't know. I do not know. Season 3, episode 14, which is called Karen Peralta. Now, this kind of establish Jake as a character. Why? Because we know so little. The person that we see the most of the family is possibly Sergeant Jeffries. So the wife, the 2 kids, so the 3 kids now with Ava. But we also see Jake with his father and his mom. Then you realize it's the only one. We saw Gina's mom, we saw Boyle's father, we saw Oat's sister. You just don't see family member, you know? So, oh yeah, we have the scene where Jake has a Segway, and this is kind of cool because Segway back then were the hit. So it's just to show a timeless piece of content, which is Segways are cool. Spoiler alert, me from the future, hi, Brooklyn Nine-Nine from the past. Segway were never cool. So I don't know who told you that, Jazz, but they were lying to you, bro. They were lying. Now we're gonna do a little bit of something. So I'm gonna sing you a song about it. Baby girl, what's your name? Let me talk to you. Let me buy you a drink. I'm T-Pain. You know me. Shawty, I'm not good. Hold that tree. There you go. Dunzo. What a nice ending for a song. The police sirens. So that's pretty much it. Jacob, Captain Raymond Jacob Bolt ends up not knowing how to do it. So what he does. This is super cool. This is super cool. It's nuts because okay, so at the end, Terry pushes Jake on the Segway. It's super cool because we have the show where Jake is gonna present his mom. Well, you're gonna present Amy to his mom. I don't know why you say that. Amy to his mom and not his mom to Amy. But I think it's both way, right? I think both work, I guess. It is important because we saw how much of a big deal it was for Rosa, and we know that Jake and his father are not close. That would lead me to believe that he's close to his mom. So Karen is a humongous deal here. And the actor that plays Karen is amazing. She's been in a lot of things. I just don't know her name. Baby girl, what's your name? Let me talk to you. Let me buy you a drink. I'm T-Pain. You know me. And then you wonder why my neighbor hates me. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest here, guys. It's a mystery. I mean, look at me. Good singer, good looking. Just got a compliment for my hair. Hello. So yeah, very, very odd. Yeah. So get the meeting. I don't remember what's going on with Gina and Oat.
So no Jake, no Amy, no Charles, no Rosa, no Terry. That leaves me with.
Oh yeah. So this one, there's a couple of scenes, but I just feel like Jake and Amy scene is the best. So basically, Jake and Amy scene are the best because Amy goes in and she's super nervous. There's a joke about her when she was a kid, when she was good with adults, because she was singing "Itsy Spider, Run the Runner Up," something like that. I'm not English, I don't know this song. Which I do know this song from Gollum and Lord of the Rings, but that's another story. She meets a mom, and look at her. I'm gonna say she's gorgeous. She's gorgeous. The older lady, of course, but she's gorgeous. Now here comes the big problem. The father of Jake is back. Now the whole episode, Jake will blackmail his father into saying like, I know with whom he cheated on. But guess what? His mom knew. The whole thing is about Jake not having a problem with his father. He wanted to protect his mom, but his mom is like, and this is actually really cool. Jake is basically saying like, yo, this guy's no good for you, mom. And his mom is like, I know he's no good, but I like him. I'd rather be with someone that's no good that I like than someone that don't like me, but is good to me. And I gotta say, you know what? I think she's right. I think she hit the hammer on the nail. I wanted to do something fucked up. I wanted to say she hit the nail on the hammer, but I fucked it up and I said it correctly. Yeah. So we got the father, and the father, I gotta say, he's just a cool actor at being a piece of shit. That's an old picture of Jake, which he had a nose ring, and I feel like they're a real picture. So this is super cool because this is a break with Terry, Rosa, and Charles, and they're testing body cams. And the body cams feel extremely important. Charles gets Charles gets some soup on his uniform because why not? And Charles is completely naked. Hey, there you go. I'm going to show you. Yep. So the body cam checks it out. This is super important because what's gonna happen is Charles will be naked and he's not gonna want the body cam footage to come out, right? But the guy was doing drugs and they don't find drugs on him. So then when you look at the footage, when you see Charles naked, you see a bunch of drugs hidden. And they use the footage of Boyle's naked to show that there's drug and it's a good arrest. So Charles ends up being the naked hero. Yes. Old Gina Scully and Hitchcock goes on a mission, and that mission is an escape room. Again, this is okay. I'm gonna be an asshole, but this is a show that's a couple of years old, right? Escape room were all the rage. We go to the escape room, and then you're stuck with Gina, Hitchcock, and Scully. So there's not a lot of people, Gina checks out. She doesn't want to play, which is classic Gina icon behavior. Duh. And Hitchcock and Scully are completely useless. Now this is the cool thing, because the thing is full of food. Yeah, there you go. You see, full of food. Hitchcock and Scully eat the food, which I thought was really cool. Yeah, the father, I just don't like the father. I'm sorry. I had a really good father, so. Okay. Why am I having such a problem with the father? Like I told you, I have a really good father. I have amazing parents. My mom is. It's complex. My mom's a great mom. My father's a great father. However, I look at my father and think, okay, this is gonna be with me one day. For my mom, it's actually very weird because I look at women, and because I want kids, I'm like, okay, well, just be a good mom. And my model for a good mom is my own mom. So I'm like, okay, well, you know. But my father, I see it, and when I see piece of shit dad, I'm reminding myself how much I'm lucky to have the dad that I have, but also at how much I would hate myself if I was a piece of shit dad. Does it make sense? I don't know. I do not know. I know what, I gotta check out something. I gotta check out the encyclopedia. My friend. Enemy. 2 times 2 health of basic enemy. Deal 2% of damage. Powered max health per second. All powered regen effects. Worth 4 points as base value. My god. So this is straight up attack. Baby girl. You're gonna hear me sing this song a lot because it's in my head. You know what's also in my head? In my head, I see you all over me. In my head, you fulfill my fantasy. In my head. So a little bit of a problem with Amy and Jake. Amy is actually a really good girlfriend here. She makes sure that Jake is good, which is kind of awkward because, of course, you know, it's the parents, but still, I like it. Jake tells the father, like, listen, if you don't leave right now, I'll tell my mother about everything, which is... This is nuts, bro. This is nuts. So basically, the whole episode is about Jake not revealing his secret that his father's cheated, but the mom knows that the father's cheated. So it's like, okay, well, the whole part of the episode is pointless. But at the same time, I do like what the mom says. I'd rather have a guy that is a piece of shit but loves me that I like than a guy I don't like. And I guess this is right. You can't help who you like. Love makes you blind, and blind she is. So then the guy said, again, the guy tells Wolf, put the drugs on him. We plant the drugs. The body cam will show something. Now this is the coolest part, because Rosa knows that the body cam is Charles naked, and she wants to protect Charles. Like, no, Sarge, there has to get out of the way. And it's kind of cool because Charles is also not super comfortable with being naked on the camera. So it's a pretty sweet episode, actually. 50%. And this one, I'm gonna switch phone. My apologies. Disgusting. How are we doing on batteries over here? 11%. We're not good on either of those. Okay, Inky, you got this. You got this, my bro. You got this. You know what? We do not got this. But at the same time, your boy is a madman. This one charged enough. Anyway, I got like 1 more hour to do. And then we're gonna go back in and watch some more. Choo 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 choo. There you go. That's perfect. That is perfect. So this one's gonna be there, and then one after this episode, we'll go check out for the next cable. The father of Jake says sorry, but you know, little piece of shit. Super funny because Hitchcock and Scully end up being super useful, and they find out the four keys.